children die, a really big part of us dies with them. I know you've heard quotes like, "It didn't kill me, but something inside of me died that day." Or maybe, "I felt like I had died too, they just forgot to bury me." These quotes really resonate with us because death completely devastates and shatters us. We really do lose our entire sense of identity. It's as if a part of us really did die because the old part of us really did. I'm Emily Graham, bereaved parent and grief coach at After Child Loss. If you've experienced child loss and are trying to survive this grief and life after, start now by subscribing and clicking on the bell. Today, I want to talk about the loss of self, kind of that before us versus the after us. For me, it was a really long time before I started to recognize the person that was looking back at me in the mirror. Even now, that person is really different than who I was before. I found the process of reconciling this before versus the new after is one of the more difficult aspects of life after loss. I have a really good visual that I want to show you that will help you understand. So, see this Play-Doh container. This container is your life, right? Inside, this is you. The Play-Doh is you. So see how perfectly you fit inside your life? When I take it out, see how smooth everything looks, right? There's no imperfections. Now, obviously ignore the perfect and smooth descriptors because we know life isn't perfect and it isn't smooth. But this is your life before the loss of your child. And so when you look back now, my guess is you probably think that your life was pretty perfect before. All the pieces fit exactly as they should. Life made perfect sense. So now comes the death of your child, right? It rips you apart, right? It breaks your heart. It smashes your existence. You are changed in ways that you cannot even begin to understand, imagine, or see. So this is now you, right? You're a destroyed, jumbled mess. So there is no way that you can just fit back into your life like you did before, right? There's pieces of you that don't fit. Nothing is smooth or perfect as it once was. There's all these holes where you used to be or where they used to be, right? This is all this excess that's hanging out that you just don't know what to do with. But we try as hard as we possibly can, right? We try to cram ourselves back in there. And all we end up with is this jumbled mess. So the lesson here is, no matter how you try, you cannot go back into this container or your before life and have it look and feel anything like it did before. I know that it's kind of common sense, but still we try so hard to make this work. Life before was our comfort zone, right? It's what we were used to. It's our routine, our friends and our family are there, who we are or who we used to be is there somewhere, right? We have to be, but it's not. And even though we know deep down, we still try so hard to make ourselves fit. No matter how uncomfortable or forced, if we believe that we can just get back here, that we're going to feel better and this is going to be easier, and that somehow we can heal, right? That we have to be able to go back to re-enter whatever this life was. But why do we do this? Expectations, right? Our expectations, other people's expectations, we want to fix it. We want to ease that pain and go back to this place of security. Yet we quickly find that it's not better, right? We have this false expectation that in time we're going to feel more normal, that if we can just resume our routine, we can just take care of our other children, we can go back to our lives and give it time, right? That old us will actually come back. But my guess is that you pretend a lot, right? We wear masks, right? We hide our grief. We want people to think that we're okay, that we're back to that person. And if you wear that mask long enough, you actually start to believe it. But you can't lie to yourself. And other people have those expectations too, right? They miss who we were before, the person they laughed with, the person who wasn't sad all the time. They likely haven't experienced this type of loss, so they don't get it. They don't understand that part of you is literally gone. They still subscribe to the old ideas that if they just give you time, you're going to come back, right? You're going to be fixed. we feel these expectations in the way that people interact with us, and we know they just want to see us happy. Us being back to our normal selves is how they define being healed, but it's not that easy. We don't just go back to our normal selves and get healed. Instead, we have to learn who this new person is and what's left behind, and that can be really hard and really scary. I know for me, I raged for a long time against this process, right? I didn't choose this life. I don't want to keep living when my son's gone. I don't want to get to know who this new person is looking back at me in the mirror. I can tell you, though, that my real rage, it contained a ton of expletives, and I have removed those for you, though I am sure that your rage against your own life is full of colorful language and so many heated moments, too. This is not the life we chose. It's not the life that we want to live, but here we are. The only way that we can survive this is by trudging right through it. We have to be willing to acknowledge that the old us no longer exists and that this new us doesn't fit back into this life that we once had, right? That idea can take a lot of time to process and accept, but you have to be willing to acknowledge that this life wasn't what you chose. It isn't what you would want, but you have to figure it out. You are the only one with that power. You need to learn how to strip away all of those expectations, right? Yours, the ones that other people have for us, right? What we think our life should look like, what other people think we should or shouldn't do. You have the opportunity to really decide what it is that you believe in and what you want your life to look like going forward, right? You are still in there, though it may not always seem like it. Yes, you see life differently, and there are pieces of your life that don't quite fit the way that they did before, but you're still in there, the real you. So dig in and get to know who that person is. What do you need to survive this loss? And if you're not getting it, go find it. A big piece of you will always be missing, but you have the ability to figure out what pieces no longer make sense to hold on to and what people or things you need in order to make this life more bearable. Like this Play-Doh, your life might not look as smooth and perfect as it once did, but that doesn't mean that you can't learn to balance the new messiness with the memory of what was once there. Your loss and your life will forever be intertwined. Grief and joy can and do coexist. You're never going to feel just one emotion, right? Your happiness in no way takes away from how deeply and profoundly sad you are about their death. But you can choose to embrace who you are now. How their death impacted you can impact your life. You can rebuild with them at the center and reshape the container that's around you, right? If you at all found this video helpful, please like, comment, share. Thank you.